Another one.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to you wherever you are on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your man's Gamage, and I am back. So let's do this together, huh? I don't know if it's stuck, but we're gonna do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ending No Shave November, and we are coming to a close. By the time you see this, we will have shaved everything at this point. But I do want you to know the organization that we've decided to support this year, 2025, is St. Jude's Children's Hospital. We will be donating $544 towards cancer research to St. Jude's Hospital. So thank you all so much for those of you who participated in No Shave November. Even if you did not participate, you can still go out and find an organization and just contribute to it. Sow a seed. That's how we say it in the Christian faith. Sow a seed. But give a gift. Give any monetary gift that you can, if you can, to or toward an organization for cancer research, and I do greatly appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here for a quick 50-5 clash against the Canik Mete MC9 Prime versus the CZ P10C Ported Edition. Both of these are phenomenal firearms, guys. I give both of them high praises. But the 50-5 is less of a ranking view that we're giving each of these Hemis, and more so we're going to talk about the features of each and which one we decided to go with. So let's break it all. You already know on every 50-5, we gauge everything on POU, cost, and aftermarket support. And then at the end, I give you my raw thoughts. Let's jump right in and talk about POU. Guys, on the CZ, now if you know me, you know I am a CZ fanboy. I love all things CZ. The 75 series is one of my favorite, but I also currently myself, I own the Shadow 2, the Shadow 2 full size, Shadow 2 compact. We also own the P10C in the compact edition, not necessarily the ported. And we've had our 75 series. We've had a couple CZs at this point. I love them. Love them. I'm also a huge fanboy of, not a huge, but I'm a fanboy of the Canik as well. I love them. They are nice. My first one, as you've known, was the TP9 series. Dug it. I've owned a few here or there, but never one really stuck. Currently, we are in possession of, because I own the TTI, the Terran Tactical version of the Canik. Let's jump right into what we would do with each of these. So we're talking about a 4-inch barrel on the P10C versus a 3.6-inch barrel on the Mete. Now, the Mete would be more of your, I think, like micro compact, sub compact, when you want to just light carry this one, because it's only 3.6 inches. You see what I'm saying? On the CZ, you're looking at a 4-inch. So this is a compact feel, 15 round capacity in this compact versus 17 round capacity in the micro or sub compact. I'm saying purpose of use of each of these would definitely be carry. Would you really compete with it here in Florida in the concealed carry league? You've heard me mention that before. Yes, you can compete with it because it's a daily driver, but I'm going for which one of these am I going to just give, and this is an all or nothing. This is an all or nothing feel on this 50-5, right? Which one of these am I going all in on the carry for me? Well, on the CZ, the texture is something that I'm not a huge fan of. So, and I'm a CZ guy. I love CZ over Canic all day. However, this texture is far too rough. That's too much. Even changing out the back strap, this one right here still on my previous or on my current P10C, I'll roll in some footage of it. You'll notice I have it stippled because I just could not deal with that rough grip. Like that's just too rough for me. Now on the Canic, that is, it's almost just like a gravel. Like it feels really good. That 17 capacity grip just allows me more purchase on the actual firearm. So I mean, I don't know, that right there just feels better. If we're just sticking on grip alone, the CZ, the Canic feels better on the grip than on the CZ. So I'm gonna give the grip to the Canic. Now, let's talk triggers. Of course, in that Canic, you get that diamond trigger. You get that diamond trigger on this one. That's a lot of take up though. That's a lot of take up. And then you're at the wall and then very, very crisp break versus on the CZ. Look at that. That wall is right there in that CZ, right there, and then break. So the trigger pull feels harder. The wall, there's not as much take up on the CZ. The take up is right there. And then once you're there, the wall, that feels a little heavier than in the Canic. However, I will tell you that this trigger feels, a little bit better. I don't know. I don't want to say better. Nah. The CZ trigger does not feel better than the Canic trigger. It's not. However, the Canic trigger does have more take up than the CZ. Once you can overpower that take up, that break is far better in the Canic than it is in the CZ. However, I love the fact that on CZ, even if we're jumping around from aftermarket support and different things like that, on the CZs, there's a theta trigger that we had in ours, Killer Innovation makes a trigger that we have in ours that you can make in this one. There aren't many aftermarket triggers for the Canic. And so if we're gonna go on the aftermarket support side of like which one you can actually jazz up a little bit more, the CZ may actually get it in that category. So we may have to go with the CZ on the aftermarket support and the glamorizing of the product. So we're gonna go CZ on the feel in that. Now, let's talk about recoil spring, because this recoil spring in the CZ, now both of these firearms have been broken in, and so there have been, each of these are looking at 700 plus on each. We did 50 and 50 on each of these just for the sake of the video. However, I want you to know, just longevity wise, neither of these were brand new firearms. So, but look at that. That recoil spring feels a lot smoother than the one in the Canic, which, feel that? Like that takes a lot more strength to get that back. Now, I'm gonna tell you what that does. It causes doubles in the CZ to be smoother than doubles in the Mete. And so I'm going to say, as far as running the gun, when running the gun, the CZ, I can actually run the CZ a little bit better than I can run the Canic, no cap. The ports, let's just talk about the ports really quick. Each of them are lackluster on the port side. It's not like either of them are winning any type of Nobel Peace Prize when it comes down to the ports. However, I will say that each of them serves its benefit. Like the recoil impulse is mitigated by what they offer from the factory, and I can appreciate that. On the CZ, the comp port up front, the little chunk port up front, it does give you just, a little bit. You can say that you're in the ported game by running it. And you wouldn't be lying to the people if you said that. On the Mete. That goddamn slide is hard, guys. You see those? Those are just, I consider them to be little needle ports. Little needle ports. Again, they don't do a whole lot, but I love the fact that Canik did open up that top window where they have their name Prime written in there, the model at least. And I think you can easily drop at least maybe 3 holes in that just to be sufficient on a little 3.6-inch size piece and be good. So you can do that. Each of them come with an RMS footprint. The Canik, we have it outfitted with a Gideon Judge XL. Amazing eye relief on the XL, and I highly recommend it. If you're gonna pick up anything from Gideon, make sure you use the code GOT-GAMAGE and just save a little bit of coins. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing on that side. Over on the CZ, we have it outfitted with an Ames. Now, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the way they have the Ames set up, because there's like a peephole on the top that you, depending on even if you're running the factory sights, it almost gives you like a absolute co-witness mandate to run through there because you have this extra piece of material covering up the window. I'm not necessarily a fan of that on the Ames. However, great optics still. It did its thing, held zero very well. And so if you're compact, if you're looking for an optic, Judge XL from Gideon would be my choice in the RMSC category. Let us talk about, we've already talked about 15 round capacity versus 17 round capacity. Let us get what comes in the box with each of these, because I think that is another feature when we talk about the cost category. What about each of these? So you're looking at the CZ and you're saying, you know, this plus a little bit can get you into the CZ P10C Ported Edition. But then over here on the Canik Mete, for everything that you'll get in the box, you can get it plus, this plus, and you'll get all of what comes in the box for this. Let us look at the CZ first. Out of the box, you are getting and as my daughter would say, it's starting to get sundown or sun-kissed 30 because the sun is starting to set. So I'm hoping we're still in some good lighting here on everything. You get 2 15-round magazines with the CZ. You also get the interchangeable back straps, and these are interchangeable base plates, but I think these are plus base plates. But I don't know that this comes in the box with this. This is my brother's, Carl from A Regular Gun Guy. This is his, and I believe this may be some extra stuff that he got going on here. Of course, he has the TLR 7X on his. We ran it with it a little bit as well as without, so that we can just get the offset on the weight. So that's what you're getting for out plus with the CZ. Out of the box with the Canik, we are looking at you get the holster. Of course, it's in the house. You get a little pissy mag loader, don't worry about that. You get 2 17-round magazines, and you get the interchangeable back straps. Of course, same texture on each of those, which is dope. Another thing, I like this because, you know, I keep it in my range bag. Their toolkit, it comes in the shape of a little Canik, and you remove the bottom and then it pops out with these little handy tools for any adjusting and all of that stuff. So I dropped one too. Let me pick that up before we keep going. Hold on. I felt something hit my leg. Oh snap, I got lost one of the tools. Something dropped out, y'all. Crap. Oh well. So bang for your buck. Which one are you getting? For all of this coming out of the box, you're looking at plus, again, plus a little bit more. You're getting 2 17-round magazines, you're getting a holster, and you're getting the little handy dandy tool compartment kit, which I dig that. That's a plus for me. On the CZ side, you're getting 2 15-round magazines. It's optic plate. Now, here's the other crazy thing. Each of these come from the factory milled already to accept the RMSC footprint or the RMS optic style footprint. However, on the CZ, you actually have to run plates. And so you get to choose which plate you want for what particular piece when you're running on the CZ. You can also run RMR. You could run Vortex. Like, you can get other optic plates for the CZ. Unlike with the Canic, you're only going to be able to run the RMS footprint on that one. So keep that in mind if you're going to Rochambeau with either one of them. Let's do trigger pull really quick because I just want to show you that as well. Let's do the Canic first. 0, and we'll do 3 just to average it out. We're going pulling in there. 214, 214. Second one, 215. And the third is 3-4. Ugh, messed that up. Total is 3.1. 3.1 on the Canic. Let's look at the CZ. On the CZ, right there, 5.4. Told you that wall feels a little bit heavier on the CZ. Right there, 4.5. And pull it in right there. Boom. 413 with an average of 413 on the CZ. So now you're looking at an average of 3.1 and you're looking at an average of 413. A pound difference. Now, as Lito would say, he's not a trigger snob. I actually am a bit of a trigger snob, and I love a very crisp trigger. I love the fact that a trigger has a wall, pronounced wall, and then once I'm at that wall, let's see if the mic will pick it up. I want that wall, and then just like that. That's all I want. I don't want all of that mush, which this is a little bit of mush, you know. But with dry fire, I'm able to, I know where that wall is getting. I know exactly where it's getting. Guys, my son has just come out here. I'm going to let him run over here real quick and get on camera because he sees me recording, yet he runs out here, and you're going to have to run all the way around because he doesn't have on any socks. And so, no, yeah, okay, walk on the bricks. There you go. Guys, Riley Alexander. Riley, you want to say anything to the people? It's in the microphones right here. Talk to them.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to you wherever you are on the planet.
It's your man's.
Damage.
But it's you. You're the man. So it's your man's.
Damage.
Okay. Bye. Bye, Gamage. Get out of here. All right. Love you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So as we wrap this up, trigger pull goes to the Canic, of course. That diamond trigger that they have is, again, it's amazing. If I had to choose, which I do, you may be able to tell which one we decided to go with based on which one already has been jazzed up a little bit. We are going with the Canic Mete MC9 Prime over the CZ. Why did we choose this? One, for the 3.6 micro carry capability. Yes, we have the C2 still that gives us the shorter feature. However, the slimline feature of this, it gives me a smaller profile even than my Fuse does. So the Fuse, both slimline pieces, the R11 from ECM is a very slimline piece. Now my Fuse outshoots the Canic hands over. Like, that R11 will outperform this Canic hand over foot. However, this baby here paired with the Judge XL has been a phenomenal trainer piece, guys. I've ran this gun with ladies and I've seen them do so well. I've ran this piece with even grown men and seen them do so well. So it is a very, very, I would say, highly recommended piece that if you're looking for a first-time piece to pick up, if we could, on this version, again, just to put two, because we rarely do comparison videos, because I think all things that are good don't even need a comparison. Like you don't have to compare something that's good. Like you're looking at two pieces that if you have said coins, get whichever one basically fits you. The CZ P10C is going to be more of a full, like it's going to give you that full grip. It's going to be a true compact piece. So if you're looking for something compact, the CZ P10 Ported Edition is amazing. If you are looking for something slimline though, on the micro or subcompact category, I'm saying the Canik Mete MC9 Prime is the go-to piece for that. You pair it with a Gideon Judge XL that has freaking Vortex HD eye relief on this thing. This is where this piece right here is hard to beat. So, ladies and gentlemen, with all that said, choose to spend your coins how you choose to spend your coins. However, I hope we've been able to share with you our take on which one we would go with and which one we've been carrying. And until next time, you already know the drill. Never compare, never complain, and never compete. Why? Because you are the solution. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us here on the main page as well as the backup page, Gamage Dos. The main page got Gamage and the backup page, Gamage Dos. We love you, and until next time.